everybody is eager to have the panels begin, so I'd like to say a few words of welcome. My name is Jeremy Weber. I'm the Dean of the Law School here at the University of Victoria. And I should say that May Sam was to be here. May Sam of the Wasinj people was to be here to provide a welcome. There's been an illness in her family, so she has not been able to come. And I have to say that that is a pity, because my own feeling was that we would have gotten a long way with the subject matter of this meeting if we just had meditated on the kinds of welcomes that Maysam gives, and on the way in which we receive those welcomes and the reasons for which it places us on the right road. And so we'll have to do that at a future time. Would you?
I'm just interrupting because this is the nephew of May, and
wonderful.
he has said that he would be happy to represent you.
We would be very grateful. Good, thanks. And you're Gary Sam?
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
wonderful. Well, if you wouldn't mind, that would be honored. Thank you. That would be wonderful. Yes, please, just do you, wherever you wish.
Okay. Asa, Wakinagan, Salasan, Wasena, Cheese, and Namo, Hydrocout, Siam, Tonight Square, Bokutin Squallow, and Titsawato, Asiam, the Shia, Hydrocout, Siam, the reconciliation-and-spirituality, Asiam, the Shia. I just want to thank the Creator for this beautiful day, and for everyone that is here today, and to have a strong mind and work together. As can see to share all my relations.
Thank you very much. Very, very, very grateful. It really is an honor for us to be able to meet on the lands of the Kwangan-speaking people, of the Songhees, the Squamish First Nations, and the Wasinj people, on lands to which those continuing relations to this very day. Let me just say a few words to get us off to a start. I'd first like to recognize Chief Robert Joseph. It's a great honor to have you with us today. So this program began with a conversation with Rashan Dinesh, who will be one of the speakers on the first panel. And I know that there were people behind Rashan also who had ideas for this. And in fact, really strong impetus from the Baha'i community of Canada to suggest this as an appropriate topic for conversation, and indeed we'll have words in a moment from the chair of the National Governing Council of the Baha'is, the community of Baha'is of Canada. But I remember when Rashan suggested it, I both was delighted with the idea, and I have to say a little terrified by the idea. Delighted by the idea because it's a hugely valuable topic. Terrified because we were in the middle of a major initiative that those of you who were able to come last night will know about, and that is the joint degree program in the common law and indigenous law. And we realized that we were at full stretch already, but that this was an idea that was too good for us to miss. And indeed, it was also important because Rashan had been such a source of imagination and support and wisdom in the course of developing that proposal for the indigenous law program. And so we did decide to go forward. One reason I mention that is because I have many, many people to thank for the fact that we were able to come together. People associated with the Faculty of Law at the University of Victoria who worked extraordinarily hard when they were already being asked to do more than they really should be in order to pursue the initiative of establishing this groundbreaking program in Canadian law and Indigenous legal orders. They were already doing amazing work, but they then did more, still more, in order to bring this event together. And so I owe a huge debt of gratitude to them. I owe a huge debt of gratitude to our sponsors. The major sponsor for this event is the Community of Baha'is of Canada. We also have support from the Trudeau Foundation, the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, and from the Centre for Studies in Religion and Society, the director of which, Paul Bramadat, is here with us today, and also from the Faculty of Law, and last night from the Vice President Research's office. So, great deal of thanks to all of them for the support they've given to this effort. And let me say a couple of reasons why I myself am looking forward to this. You know, we have welcomes to the territory. We have prayers that begin so many of our proceedings. We welcome into their first year with a welcome by one of the elders from a local First Nation. And I often wonder how we receive those prayers. I imagine our students wonder how they ought to receive those prayers. Is this just window dressing? Is it something that is more fundamental? If it's not our tradition, how do we engage with it? How do we engage with it appropriately? Those are questions that if we take those prayers, those welcomes seriously, we have to give some thought to. And I don't think those are easy questions. I think they are appropriately difficult questions that we really need to give our thoughts to. It's always struck me that spiritual commitments are lumpy and difficult to speak across. Not for the reasons that are often given in the philosophical literature, which I think tend to suggest that the problem is that how can, they tend to work with a command theory of religion. That religion is about the deity telling us what we should do, and how then can there be conversations across religious traditions if we have different deities talking to us and telling us what to do. But I don't know about you, but I actually would be quite pleased if an all-wise, all-knowing, all-loving deity would just command me to do the right thing. The omniscient being with which I tend to have a very imperfect relationship, and I should make very clear that I attribute the imperfection to my side of the relationship. But the omniscient being with which I have that imperfect relationship doesn't seem to work that way. I don't get that clarity of instruction. And I don't think that that's the way to think about religious traditions and interaction between them. If she in her wisdom, or to be properly inclusive, he in his wisdom, don't give me that instruction, how then should we approach that process of engagement? I guess my sense is that in many ways it's about how it parallels in some ways how to talk across languages, how to engage with somebody else's most fundamental beliefs when we have trouble grasping them, seeing them, when we have trouble translating between them and our own. And those are challenges that are pronounced, and they're challenges that we have to turn our best thoughts to. And that's very much what I hope we'll be doing over this time. So my thanks to the sponsors of this event. It was just wonderful that it's occurring. My thanks to all of you for coming. And I'd now like to call upon Ms. Deloria Bighorn, who is chair of the National Spiritual Council of the Baha'is of Canada, to say a few words.
a bit of terror this morning, right? I had a bit of terror on that ring road. I went around and around that thing. I went out Val Bay. I got turned around. I was calling people. They wouldn't answer their phone. So I thank you, Dean Callion, for coming out and rescuing me. Good morning and welcome to this amazing event. It's my privilege on behalf of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'is of Canada to welcome myself and you all here to this. And we owe a great deal of thanks to our community, to our partners in this event. I especially would like to thank Jeremy Weber, who's the Dean of the Faculty of Law, and also Paul Bramadan, who's the director of this, for the center, the director of the Center for the Studies in Indigenous and Society, as well as the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation, that are part of the working partnership of this gathering. Rochelle said that I should tell you a little bit about myself, and I have to say, if this space belonged entirely to Indigenous people, we would spend quite a bit of time sharing with each other who we were, because that's how you bring a circle together. You have to establish yourself in relationship to each other. So first of all, I'd like to ask the permission of the elders and chiefs here that I might be able to speak. That is a teaching that we have so that there's a recognition that our elders and our chiefs and leaders have earned a special recognition, have earned a special status. And I think we've lost that a little bit in this society. I think we've lost a little bit of that respect, a little bit of that feeling of maybe even a little bit of awe at the people who take on the mantle of leadership. So I just want to pay my respects to that. I want to say that I was taught as a girl growing up to address a group of people, if I had the opportunity or was asked to speak, to refer to you as my relatives. And I always marveled at that our elders, even after they had been through many things much worse than I thought, my goodness, who are these people? That they could look upon the human beings that cross their path with such a deep feeling of reverence. So I think it bodes well, though, if we should take up that practice. I noticed that in some places of governance, there seems to be an adversarial relationship rather than a feeling of family. I could say that my name is Deloria Bighorn. My traditional Dakota name is Wigmunkewi. I'm a member of the Yankton Sioux tribe, which is a part of the Great Sioux Nation. Some refer to it as the Ocheti Sakomi. And my parents met at residential school. So this is this idea of how do we recover our humanness, our humanity from this experience. And I'm not just talking about the Indigenous people. I'm talking about all people. How do we recover our sense of humanity after the perpetration of such a thing? My parents were people who were determined to rise to the nobility for which they were created. My father's name was Phil Lane Sr. He was a Dakota. My mother, Lena Rose Lane, was of the Chickasaw Nation. And I have to say that we can't control many times the experiences that come on our path. We don't understand why it is in this plane of existence we have to suffer. But honestly, there's not a human being that doesn't have to find suffering in some way. And so I pay my respects, I pay my sense of astonishment at the way many of our relatives have suffered. And of course, that's not excluded. That's not only Indigenous people. That's people all around this world. You all that are here, we all that are here, are determined to create a just world in which the suffering of the people is diminished and the nobility of the people is enhanced. I want to congratulate the university on the creation of this amazing Indigenous law program, and I think it's something that we can all celebrate, and we all should celebrate. If we are to come to a more respectful and cooperative relationship in which all members of the human family are honored and their contributions valued, we need to discover new ways to utilize spirituality in our society, caring for each other as family members, as a family would. It is our hope that this symposium can be a space in which the relationship between spirituality and reconciliation can be explored and contributed to the process of recreating our society with principles of justice and oneness. Welcome,